Hey guys, it's DiaryEve01. I have a lot of requests of people wanting to know how I get my sound quality to be so good, want to know my recording method. So I'm going to give you a brief how-to. It's really not that difficult. It's just a little tedious and time-consuming, takes a little extra effort, but the end result I think is worth it. So let's just start off with my equipment. Over here we have my guitars that I usually use, but that's not really so much the important part as is what plugs into, which is my Digitech RP300 processor. That's where I get all my effects and distortion types. And then from there, rather than plugging into that dinky little crappy amp, which really doesn't bring out any good sound at all, I have it go into my computer. Now, I do this because unless you have a professional microphone and a really good amp, the sound quality is not going to be that great because the microphone's not picking up the entire sound range. You're not getting all the trebles, or usually you're not getting all the basses, and you're getting too much treble and then not enough mid-range. And then the amp itself, unless you have a nice amp rather than that, dinky little thing over there, you're not going to get that great of a sound out of it. So I plug it straight into my computer, and using the line-in jacks. I plug my processor from the headphone jack right into the line-in, and then I record using the line-in. So that brings us to the software that I use. I use Audacity 1.3. I will provide the link for that because it is freeware, which is very nice, and it's probably the best freeware audio editor out there, if not the best audio editor. I prefer it over Acid Pro and Cakewalk Studios. I've never been a big fan of the loop-based software. This is much more straightforward. It's in the wave formats, and you can cut, copy, paste, add millions of effects, half of which you'll probably never even use. But I do all of my audio editing using Audacity. And I've loved it for the last 7 years. It's been great to me. The other bit of software I use is Pinnacle 10.7, which I use to record my video. So that's where I do all my video editing, download the videos to it, and I line up the tracks and everything. But since I use two different softwares to record the audio and video, that's where the trouble comes in, because then you have to line up the audio with the video. Usually I do a little kind of click or snap or some sort of noise indicating the beginning of a clip. Much like the movie producers will use those little clipboards where they, bring in this thing that says what scene it is, what take it is, and then snap. And what that snap does is it gives you a visual of when the top part of the board comes down and slaps down and hits the rest of it, and it also makes a sound. So you get a click and a visual cue that you can line up together. So that's basically what I'm doing, just in a different manner. So let me get over to Audacity, and this is the wave file from the guitar track that I just played for you in front of you, and as you can see right here is that little click that I did in the beginning. That's going to be my click that I use to line up the video with. And then there's the rest of it right there. Not really important. I'm not going to get into the effects, how to do things and all that stuff. You guys can figure all that on your own or ask me questions. I've used it for the last 7 years, so I'm pretty experienced with it. But when I'm done recording the audio software, then I export it as a WAV file, and that allows me to then import it into my video here. Once I've captured my video, down here you can see that up here in the top corner it's got the preview, but I don't have any sound yet, so what I have to do is open up that WAV file that I just exported, and I drop that down into the soundtrack part. Now, I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see this because of the size of the screen, so I'm going to try and zoom in for you. There it is. Man, that is tough to see. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see on the screen just because of how small the screen is, but right there is the beginning wave of that click track that I was talking about, showing that, signifying the beginning of the track. So what I'm going to do is I go up to the video track, and I am going to find out exactly where the point is where I make that little noise on the guitar. Okay. Don't know how well you can see this, but right there you can see my hand swinging out. That is right where I'm making that initial click. So I'm going to go right about there, right where I'm making that noise, and that's going to be my starting point. And so now I'm going to be doing the same kind of thing with the audio track. I am going to be trimming that down right to the beginning of where the sound is on that click, and then I just put that in the beginning, and then I just kind of test it to make sure it sounds right. And let me turn that up because I'm not sure how well you can hear that, but right there in the beginning. So that's a pretty good indication that I have it at least very close, and then usually I come back and I listen to the rest of the track to make sure it all matches up. And it looks like the audio is matching the video, so then at that point then I would just click on Make Movie and I'd render it and then upload it to YouTube. So that's basically it. That's everything in a nutshell. Very simplified version, of course, and yeah, it seemed like I did that pretty quick, and it was pretty easy, but keep in mind I've had a lot of practice doing this. I've been doing it for quite a while, so I'm used to knowing what to look for. So your first time, it might take a little while to get it all done and done right and have it sound and look good, but keep doing it. You'll get better at it, and it'll come a lot easier to you. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, or it'd probably be better to message me, because don't message me. I don't want to get that many emails. Just leave it in the comments, and I'll try to get back to you. And if too many things aren't clear enough, then maybe I'll make another movie trying to explain things in a little more detail. Till then, peace out. Start off with my guitars. I usually take one of the three, and usually it's my Epiphone, my favorite one. But rather than, well, that's the important part. God damn it, why can't I do this? Most mics out there, unless you buy a really expensive mic and you don't have a dinky little crappy guitar or amp. God, I keep fucking this up. Try this again. That's definitely not an amp or a guitar. God damn it. Can't even talk to myself.